Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Sunday chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. I hope everyone is all right this evening. Just before we go much further, I just want to clarify, yes, I am actually here this evening. Unlike that pre-recorded mumbo jumbo I did last week, I am here in the flesh, in person, without the cab. I ran a little survey last week to actually ask you if you wanted me to pre-record things if I wasn't here. And I think there was a 50-50 split between not fussed to, yeah, okay, what the hell. Let's have a look, see who we've got in here already, shall we? Lee Foster. Andy, did you have any trouble at Heathrow? I think it was they shut a runway because of a drone flying about for hours. It was Gatwick, actually, Lee, according to my information. The airport firms that I work with locally, we have our own little chat group, our own little thing. So if we need to cover each other's jobs and that sort of thing. And I put a warning on there when I read the news. And apparently it was Gatwick. There was police and stuff all over the show. And I was actually surprised that I saw this because I actually genuinely thought they had technology in place now to stop drones if they came anywhere near the show. I might be wrong. I might be, but that's what I thought. I'll dig a bit more into it probably tomorrow and find out some more information. Julie Keys, hello to you. Richie Reports UK, hello to you. Nigel the Handyman, Julie Baldwin. Andy on tour, Broken Dreams. I love that screen name. Hello to you. Handy Andy, Kay McKay. Is it McKay or Mackay? Good evening to you. Johnny, Sanity Checkers, Surf, Laura Ray. Lots and lots of people in. A couple of names I'm slightly unfamiliar with. Hi there, lovely people. Goldie, David L. Anyways, Andy, how's your mouth? Yeah, I had a tooth extracted yesterday, and I did a little short on it just as I was walking to the dentist, and I had the old tooth pulled. And the problem I have now, if you imagine this side of my mouth, I won't show you because it's pretty horrific, but I have no what I call chewing teeth on the bottom side there now. I've got more or less a full top set and more or less full set that way, but this side I don't have anything. So I think there might be false teeth in my future. But I've got to let it heal first and we'll see what happens. Hi, Mum. Good to see you in the chat. Oh, that's interesting. All Sainsbury's will lose their pharmacies 28th of this month. Didn't realise that one. But get that shared around, everyone. Think of the dosh from the Tooth Fairy. Yes, I can't remember last time I got a visit from the Tooth Fairy. It was a while back. It sure was. And I think it was only 50 pence. Only 50 pence. I managed to keep my glasses on this evening. I've got a ring light in front of me, and I worked out it's adjustable. So I've adjusted it up high. So if I tilt my head up, you can see the ring light. If I put it down like that, you can't, and I'm still highlighted. So I think I sussed that little thing. Lord Frost quitting the House of Lords to campaign for the Conservative Party. Who thinks the Tories are finished? Give me a one in the chat if you think the Tories are finished. Angela Graham, hello. Julie Keys, Goldie, a few others in the chat. Good to see you. Yeah, a lot of ones in there. I totally agree. Hello, Paz. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, I think they're a busted flush now. I really do. Absolutely a busted flush. But what really concerns me is what the alternative is. You know, we have a system that's weighted towards two parties, don't we? The two-party system, and it always seems to of perceived to be a choice out of red or blue. Not that there's much difference between the two nowadays, but the alternatives really scare the hell out of me for this country. I really, really do. The only way we can do something about it is vote in droves for another party, but I don't think everything is set up to enable that to happen. It's like the man said, if voting made a difference, would they let us do it? But then if you don't vote, are you tacitly agreeing to their way of doing things? I don't know. It's very, very bad. Short-term one, it'll be years to recover cases. Yeah, I got you there. There's 105 in the chat already, folks. Thank you very much. If you can hit the like button if you haven't done so already, let's get those up and running and get those algorithms tickled. Howard Cox is running for London Mayor. That's right. I mean, I think somebody that can go in there and say, we're not having ULEZ, we're not having clean air zones, and we're not doing all the other silly things that are being imposed on Londoners, they stand a good chance, really, don't they? And Howard Cox has come out and said exactly that. So we will see. We will see. Give the monster... I remember them. Monster raving loonies a bash. Can they do much worse? Was it Screaming Lord Such, wasn't it? Is he still alive, or is he brown bread? I haven't seen him for years. I'm just back, but my last live again for 3 weeks. No search parties, please. I remember you said you were going away, says 78. Tories have upset so many. It goes round in circles, doesn't it? We had, 81, 91, 01. Over 20 years of the Tories, probably 25 years. And then we get Labour for a time. They bankrupt the country. And then we get the Tories again. It's like a merry-go-round, isn't it? Yes, I fear you could be right with that, David L. I really do. It's worrying times all round. Lord Such passed away. I thought he had, but not quite there. But Howling Lord Hope carrying it on. I think they've got two hopes, haven't they? Bob Hope and No Hope. Let's see who else we've got. Yeah, I mentioned Paz earlier because he was in the chat, and I just want to bring something to everyone's attention that didn't see. Paz actually did a video yesterday. I'm not going to play it because you can see it on my timeline, but I'll show you the thing. Yes, Andy the Gabby Cabby is no Alex Belfield. This is a video that Paz did yesterday, basically offering an apology for all the shite that we've all had to put up with in the aftermath of that whole situation. And I thought it was a very great, very kind, very nice thing to do. And, apology accepted. It was just an awful, awful time for everybody all round. And to see that, really made my day. And we've exchanged private messages as well. So I thought that was wonderful. I know a lot of you are probably subscribed to Paz already, but if you're not, go check him out. He does some good stuff. He probably gets a little bit more closer to the line than I do. But yes, go check Paz out if you haven't done so already. And in the wake of that, I had Screwed Politics as well offer an apology in a short little video of about 30 seconds, basically saying, I'm sorry. I was very, very touched by all of that last night and all of the wonderful things that people were saying. And it just shows you, doesn't it? It's really great. There's enough room for everybody here. We can all get on. We can all work together. We can all help each other. And really, really great. Onwards and upwards. Right. I did a video a couple of days ago, and it was about a couple and their young son who live in Nottingham, who were experiencing some problems. Well, not some problems, massive problems actually. And I was approached by someone that they know or know of, and they have knowledge of what this family's dire situation was in. I want to play just the first part of the video just so I can show you what it's about, and then I'll give you an update. This is taken from the video I did the other day. Oh, look, there's two of me. Christ. And it's basically a statement on their situation. An email about some friends that have fallen on hard times. This contact of mine. It's a very heart-wrenching story, and I want to read it to you. And then at the end, I'll let you know what we can possibly do about it. So here we go. And again, I will leave my contact's name out of it because they wish to remain anonymous. Good morning, Andy. I need to ask a favour. My friends are experiencing financial hardship brought on by the cost of living and illness resulting in long-term unpaid leave from work. Mike, Gemma, and their son live in Nottingham and have lived frugally for quite some time now, but despite attending food banks, are still finding it tough to cater for their basic needs. Mike deservedly drew plaudits locally during the first lockdown as he entertained his neighbourhood by dancing on his doorstep before keeping disabled people physically fit with free workouts that are held virtually. Mike is a school governor in a volunteer role at their son's school. Mike would love to financially support his family, enabling his wife to be a stay-at-home mum and in addition prioritise her ailing health. Gemma is a care worker who braved it through the pandemic to look after vulnerable clients who needed a living carer, but due to deteriorating health such as fibromyalgia, she's been unable to work since last year, and her income was vitally important to the household coffers. Frankie has been diagnosed, this is their son, with behavioural related disabilities, including ADHD, and requires additional support at home, which makes it harder for both Mike and Gemma to be holding down jobs. Mike is essentially the homemaker who takes on temporary employment where practical. They've applied for entitled and relevant benefits, but the process is taking time. They are a proud family, but hard times call for desperate measures. Myself and my partner have bought them a food shop online that should arrive with them today, but I fear it's not going to stretch far enough. I'm wondering if you could rack your brain and provide them with vital information as to what help they could be missing out on, and see whether your channel and subscribers could come to their aid at this difficult time. I kindly ask the above, as I am aware that your channel and subscribers previously helped deserving people who suffered from hardship during the pandemic and beyond. They are a family unit that has raised money for charities in the past, and I truly believe that along with the work they do in supporting their local community and others online, they deserve a break. Yeah, that was a reminder of what happened the other day with the video I had, and there's been some developments since. Just to clarify, because there was a couple of naysayers in the comments on that video, it is a real, genuine family who are in need, and they've applied for relevant benefits that they can get hold of, and there is a wait. The system is really dragging its heels as per usual, and it's left them with a bit of a problem. The person who's been feeding me the information just to clarify, I actually know who they are. I know their identity, and I know the link between everybody. But the person who's letting me know what's going on wants to remain anonymous, at least in public, because they don't want to create any awkwardness. I had an update this morning telling me that the family's actually managed to have a decent hot meal together, and everything's fine at the moment, which is good. And the other update I had, one of the people that commented on the video the other day uh, sent me an email, and it's quite a long one actually, with some information about a local charity called Mesopotamia. It's the old name for Iraq, isn't it? I'm sure it is. I might be wrong. And said, they might be worth contacting. So I've reached out to Mesopotamia, told them everything I know, and said, can you help these people, and given them the details. So hopefully something will come of it, something good will come of it, and we will see. And I'll keep you updated on that. That is one definite thing. But, that's the power of this channel. If we can help, if we can do something to make somebody's life better in some way, then we'll do it. I know we can. So watch this space for that one. Let's have a look what some people are saying. I can get a Capital One credit card, 200 quid straight away, even if you have bad credit rating. That's what I did when I was short of cash. Yeah, they seem to be giving away a lot now, don't they? You can get hold of you can get hold of a lot of credit. The problem is some people, and I'm not saying you, Christine, but some people can be a bit irresponsible with it and let it fly out of control. There's another few stories I've got in the pipeline about that as well. My dentist closes early, closes at 2:30. The pain ain't that bad, actually. I think it will heal quite quick compared with the last one I had out, but I definitely can't have the gap there. You can't really see it too well. That's all I've got. Just that front set there now. It's crazy. Andy, show your tooth missing. I don't think I'd want to, really. I think everybody would be put off their dinner. Oh, yeah, I remember that. You said you were back from Turkey, heading on my Canada US trip on Wednesday. You get about, don't you? You get about. One Gabby Cabby is enough. There's only one Gabby Cabby, Rhea, that's for sure. But yeah, a few comments about the Eurovisions. Euro is bollocks, even more so as votes are so politics-based, pointless event. There was a comment I saw on Twitter the other day, and it was something about the Eurovision Song Contest being non-political, or they didn't want something in it because it was non-political. I had to retweet it and say that's the funniest thing I've seen for a long time. Utter crap. NHS dentist in my area has written to my 12-year-old saying they've gone private. Now looking at 25 quid for a checkup. Kids' private rates, I pay nearly 60 for checkup. Where's our taxes going? I hear of that a lot, Kay. I hear of that a lot. I mean, my dentist does both private and NHS as well. And they do open their books fairly regularly to take new patients on, but you have to catch them. So I remember being at a dentist once before, and I didn't like him very much. And thankfully, I found out about this other one that was taking on patients. And it was, it was okay. Where are we? Gabby, any advice on debt? I'm ruined currently. What's going on, Calvin? I mean, you can tell me privately if you don't want to put it on here. Let's see if I can help. We should send Andy to the World Economic Forum meetings, see how long it takes him to get thrown out after eating 10 ice lollies with toothache. Probably not very long. My benefits are stopped because they were too slow to update it. What do you mean too slow to update it? What's going on with that? Tell me. Not the latest, David L. Not the latest. If you know something I don't, let me know. Apart from the fact it's a bit of a clusterfuck. I'll tell you the other amusing thing as well. People having a go at my spelling. I noticed some videos I put on. I keep getting corrected. You've got there, which is spelled Their, isn't it? And then you've got there, which is There apostrophe RE, and your YOUR, and you are, or your YOURRE. I've always, since I was a kid, had problems telling the difference between all of those, and I try and get it right on the titles on my videos. Now, I'm seeing people correcting me lately, so I might need another English lesson. I didn't do too well at school with that, I have to say. Nurses accepted 5% pay rise, but when they got greedy and now want 10%, what for? All that TikTok dancing they did in the car. Don't. Yeah, I mean, how long is it going to go on for? I mean, it'll just bring the country to its knees. One thing that concerns me at the moment is the teachers. I mean, in the last couple of weeks, between a school trip, bank holidays, and teacher strikes, I think my son has not had a great deal of education. 10.5 grand in debt, courts, bailiffs, mate, it's a nightmare. Well, it depends what debt. Have you had any county court judgments against you? Is it debt collector agencies like Lowell's, Moorcrofts, Cabot? Is it them that are bothering you? Have you had any visits? Is it actually properly court-appointed bailiffs? Is it council tax? Or is it just them sending their heavies round? There is a website you can Google called Beat the Bailiffs, and I've covered some of it on the channel over the course of time. If you want to send me an email privately, you can see that on the About page of this channel, and let me know some more details, and I'll try and help you. Or alternately, go through the Facebook page. You can message me on there, and again, tell me privately what's going on. I'll see if I can point you in the right direction. I'm actually helping somebody at the moment. There's a guy I know who's got a few grand's worth of debt, and he's got various medical and various psychological problems of the mental health variety, depression, anxiety, that sort of thing. And because of the change in his circumstances and the change of his health, it's gone downhill. He can't work. So the only income he's reliant on is benefits. And he's got these people chasing him. And because of the anxiety faction, he can't handle it. So he's asked me to step in on his behalf. I said, okay, I can deal with it. So I'm acting on his behalf and trying to deal with these people. And the other day, despite me actually securing a payment break for him, he had something like 2 text messages, 2 phone calls, 2 emails, and a letter, all in 24 hours. No good. I called them out on here because I think they're despicable. And I've written them a strongly worded letter, but I'll make people aware of that later on as well, and let you know exactly what happened, because that kind of unscrupulous information, the unscrupulous stuff that people are up to, needs calling out, definitely. I've realised lately the system seems to be weighted against us, doesn't it? There's money for this, money for that, fines for this, fines for that. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. The real Brummy is in the house. Hello to you, the real Brummy. I like that name. Toby Nix, I keep cancelling insurance policies and incurring cancellation fees ×3. What insurance is that? Is that car, house? Toby, what are they doing to you? Google Street Views. Thanks for joining the channel. Wow, excellent. Thank you very much. Hi Andy, first time seeing you live. Just want to say great channel and content. Thank you very much, Google Street View. I had to go and find your comment, but I found you. Calvin, you've sent me an email. Great. I'll look out for that after the live. And if there's anything I can do to help you, I will. I'll point you in the right direction. I mean, that's what, I started this channel primarily because I wanted better for my family. And I thought, could I help others as well? And, if you can improve your own situation and help people along the way, then it makes you feel good. You believe you're doing something. So hopefully I'll be able to help. Sanity Checkers says I would advise Step Change. Step Change, I've had to work with them in the past. There's nothing wrong with them. The only thing I'm a little bit suspicious of is they're part of the system, and they tend to recommend things that are part of the system to keep you stuck in that cycle. When I spoke to them before, I thought, I'm not sure of this. Maybe citizens' advice. Colin, yes, there's a lot of information out there which confirms what you're saying. And there's very big arguments, isn't there? You have the lawyers saying you have to pay council tax, and this is why. And then you have people like you, people like me, and others who were saying, no, you don't. I put a challenge out to somebody several weeks back, and I said, I want to know, and I want contact with somebody who's been getting away with not paying it. I want to know how they've done it, why they've done it, and how they've gotten away with it, and come on here and have an actual chat with me. I mean, one thing I will be very clear about with regard to talking with people, I don't do personal phone calls, but I will do Facebook messages, I will do emails, and I will do live streams, but not personal phone calls. So anybody that wants personal phone calls from me, not happening. Neil Southern, hi Andy, what you're doing is heroic. I have a unique debt issue maybe you could help me with. Again, drop me a line. Don't air your dirty laundry in public. Just drop me a line, tell me privately. CAB is part of the system, however, better than go to one of those dodgy debt companies. CAB are part of the system, but they seem to know a few more loopholes and a few more things than other organisations that have been mentioned tonight. That's another scam. Council tax, as I applied for Section 13 from my council. 2 months later, still no reply. Try emailing the lady in charge, but apparently she's on leave for 3 more weeks. There's another thing called a Section 151 officer, Christine. That is the chief financial officer of your council. If you have a look at the Beat the Bailiffs website, they've actually got a full list of quite a few councils, and the Section 151 officer, their name and contact details of each one. So try going down that road. I mean, one thing that was pointed out when they talk about council tax is a thick manual which you can get your hands on, and it's all the regulations and procedures that councils have to follow with regard to recovery of their own council tax. And none of them know the contents of it properly. None of them follow their own rules. Then they can be tripped up and thrown around and everything else. And people wonder why we're having this issue. The full systems are broken, Colin says. Absolutely. Yeah, anyone that's got a problem with the debts or anything like that, Andy's email address for anyone that needs it, contact@andygifford.online. And you can actually reach me through Facebook as well, the Andy the Gabby Cabby Facebook page. Kay, I'm a former copper, now a legal advisor in government. Okay. How long were you copper for? My dad did 22 years. Narrative Destroyer, hello to you. Good to see you. Hope you're well. They are bar testers. Okay. The whole thing with debt, you know, you go and take a credit card or a loan or something like that, and you fall behind on it. The tendency is when they start sending threatening letters through is to stick your head up your ass and ignore the problem. And then what happens, it becomes a bigger problem. They then take yours and a bunch of other accounts. Then they sell them on to another company. And where the problem is, it's the assignment of that debt between the original creditor and the company it gets sent to. And you have to get them to actually trip over their own feet and say, well, actually, we can't come after you for this debt because we don't actually have legal assignment of this debt despite proving so. And it goes to court again and again. There's a procedure I've used about 3 or 4 times now. And the fourth one, I thought I was actually going to have to go to court. And the day before I was actually due to go to court, I got an order through striking the whole thing off. So, it depends how far you're willing to go with it and what level of stress you're willing to accept as well. Good to hear you well, Craig. I'm not too bad myself. I had a tooth pulled yesterday, so felt a bit sorry for myself, but not too bad. Not too bad. What's this one? Sick thing is, remember when we had lots of EU migrants come here in the early zeros? A lot of them took out car finance or loans for like 30 or 40 grand and then went back to their EU countries. Not good. We had another thing. I don't know whether it happens so much now or whether it's been put a stop to. I mean, near where I live, we've got a thing called Thanet Earth, and you can Google it. It's massive, great greenhouses, and they do all sorts of things down there. We used to get probably half a dozen or so Polish and Romanian and all those kinds of people, and they would share a house or a small flat. There would be a big income, and they would all club together and live together, pay their basic minimums, and then send the rest out of the country back to the family. That's it. That's what I believe. Do you think the military should intervene in the migration crisis? I do. Yeah, I got what you meant. Yeah, I think something needs to be done because you've got this route, haven't you, where they're coming all the way across Europe, hopping on a dinghy and straight over here. That's a long and short of it. Why are they being allowed to make that entire journey? There's obviously an operation around the other side somewhere that needs breaking apart. And if it takes that, then I'm in agreement with you. I mean, even some kind of beachhead or foothold just on the French side and just disrupt the boat launches. I know you're probably talking about a very big area, but what other option is there apart from what's going on at the moment? And all we get is politics and bullshit. That's all it is, all of the time. What's this one? The government want them here. Yes, I've heard that said before. Sink the boats. I think a few of them have sunk themselves, haven't they? I mean, when you look at the law, what they're doing is illegal. Gaining access to this country without the proper permission and proper documentation. I mean, they turn up here, claim asylum straight away, and then they have to be dealt with. It's just tied up in tape and all sorts. What's this one? Okay, put duct tape over a letter or number on your registration plate. So, for example, turn a 6 into an 8. That's one way to beat ANPR. ANPR, really, I've seen some documentation on this. All they do is just record a car between two fixed points, and they're not as accurate as they make them out to be. So it's all clouded in crap. What's this one? Tony, buyers beware. Bill Gates funded edible food coating hits the organic food market. The coating has been approved for use in produce in the US and it can't be removed. Okay. Claire West from Bristol. Hello to you, Claire. I was fairly near your neck of the woods several weeks ago. I had a customer that went to Horningsham and to see some relatives. And I popped down there, but booked myself into a travel lodge about 10 minutes away the night before, and then went and got them the following day. But I think Horningsham's not far from Bristol, is it? Very, very short drive, remembering looking at the map. Yeah, they had a long trip. They went to Exeter at the beginning, and then after that, up to Horningsham's. They got about. I had one driver take them to Exeter, and then I did the return trip. It's always good. $11 more likes needed to reach 100. Yes. Daily chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. We've got 157 watching in the chat. And good to see you all. If you haven't done so, please hit the like button. Welcome if you just joined us for the first time this evening as well. I know we had a little jump in subscribers yesterday. We're on about 41,000 and something now. So that's great. Welcome to all the new guys. Thank you very much, everybody, for your support, whether you're new, old, or just stopping in for the first time. And make sure you talk. Make sure you comment, because I like reading everything you have to say. Yeah, that's 11 likes. Craig, it needs to stop. Looks like it's been planned. But that's just me. There's something in that, what you just said. It's just the numbers as well, isn't it? It's getting out of control. Country is soft and no backbone. I mean, you look across the channel with the French. If they don't like something, they bloody well let their government know, don't they? Just take the number plates off. Colin, there was a story I come across, which I put on here, about a guy who actually had "fuck you, Les" written on his number plate, and he was driving round with it. I mean, there's going to be people doing that all over the place, I think. Try and jump down the comments. What we got here? Merry Christmas. We all love Andy. Rah, rah, rah. Thank you very much for the £2 super chat. I appreciate it. France are following them out to be picked up. They should be taken back. The other thing I read, there was a story as well, where the RNLI was actually crossing into French territorial waters to pick them up. And instead of dropping them back in France, where they should have been, they're bringing them all the way back here. Now, I think maritime law says that you can enter the territorial waters of another country without permission if it's for search and rescue operations, which gives them the justification and the excuse. But if there's a boat in trouble, or not in trouble as the case may be, you don't just pick them up and bring them over here. Take them back to France. Surely that was far closer if you've gone all that way. Chris Brown, hello to you. All right, people. Michael Morland, hello to you. Yeah, I mean, the government can, same as USA, Mexico. How is it possible to flee war, etc., from a peaceful France? Ha, ha, ha. It's ADG to protect the UK. This government is not, should be in court. Yeah, I mean, that's the argument, isn't it? If you are fleeing persecution, you're fleeing wars, surely you stop in the first safe country you come across. Why all the way here? And what percentage of them do we take over the rest of Europe? That's another question as well. 118 likes now. Brilliant. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Keep them coming, guys. Lovely jubbly. So I'm just catching up with the comments, folks. I want to make sure as many people as are covered. Reform BBC, hello to you. Hi, Andy. We stopped the Germans. We can do the same with the boats. Take them, like in Dunkirk, boats to stop them back to France. Makes a mockery, doesn't it, of all of that? It really does. Hi, Andy. I'm Jim from Plymouth. Hello, Jim. Good to see you. Welcome to the channel. You know, that's a shame. RNLI, I gave them a piece of my mind when they were at the local Tesco begging for charity money. I said you should be saving kids who were drowning in rivers here, not saving 30-year-old ground. Years ago, my father, or us as a family, were a member of the local yacht club, and just down the road was the local RNLI station, and me and my dad used to go around door to door. I mean, I'm going back 30 years probably, and they used to have these orange plastic boats. They were collection devices. You just put the coins and everything in, and we used to fill 2 of those. People were very supportive of the RNLI back then, but the reputation damage that's been caused by what's going on now, I don't think it's recoverable at all. They've been absolutely slated, and I'm willing to bet if I got one of those orange boats and went around collecting today, I'll probably have a few doors shut in my face compared with back in the day. Claire had my gas bill last week, and I was shocked how much it was. I know it's going to be more, but mine was 653 quid for 6 months. That seems like a lot. What do you live in then, Claire? A flat, a house? Are you on your own? Kids, married? What are your living arrangements? How much should it be, or how much did it used to be? I'm bringing a video out tomorrow, by the way, to do with gas and electric, about a couple of things you need to watch out for that could potentially be costing you a pretty penny if you don't. That'll be out either 10 or 11, no, 12 o'clock lunchtime. Yeah, Ruth, I'm with you there. There was one particular notable case, wasn't there? That was ISIS. I'm going to say it like that, just in case the old algorithm has a funny posing as a kid, and they got in here. Colin, pay your bills by promissory notes. I do. People are led to believe that that's not possible anymore, but it's more possible than you think. I used to know this guy, Mick, his name was. I mean, bless him, he's passed away a few years ago now, and he used to have a big wedge of cash in his pocket. He'd have a monkey probably at a time, and he always believed in paying everything by cash, bills, wages, shopping, everything he would pay by cash. He'd never pay anything into the bank. He wouldn't do standing orders. He wouldn't do direct debits. He was a man of the street, you know. He believed in the old ways of doing things. 148 quid just January. Okay. And you live in a house. Yeah, I don't know who you're with, but I phoned up mine and said I'm going to pay a couple of £100 every month. You can either take it or poke it where the sun doesn't shine. It's Hobson's choice, and they obviously took it. I think in a lot of cases, you've got to you've got to tell them. I don't think just not paying it really is an option. But then again, it depends how much stress you're willing to take and willing to put up with how you do it. It's a very good point. Getaway, boating life and coastal adventures. I had this conversation with my wife not so long ago, and I said to her, if war broke out in this country and we had to leave, then what I would do personally as a husband and a father, and I knew that the boat was the only way out of this country, I would put my wife and my kids on that boat and send them on their way and worry about my own neck later. That's just me. So it begs the question, where are all the women and children? That's something that's been mentioned, not by me, but by others time and time and time again. Claire West, I got a smart meter, but I don't trust them. I don't trust them either. One of the main things that they can do with them, I don't know how well known it is. If you get into any form of debt, they can switch you over to pay as you go, just like that. They don't have to install anything. It's pretty bad. I mean, I keep getting a thing from my electricity provider telling me they want to install stuff here, but I won't allow it. And then the next trick they try is that my current meters are coming towards the end of their certification period. So they try and get you that way. And again, I won't allow it. They try all sorts. I mean, they told me in the end that they're just going to be rolled out in any case. And I wouldn't have a choice in the matter. We'll see that at the time, won't we? Jesus, Web, Claire West. Paying monthly at £45 a month, but they've put it up to 90 now. It's not only gas and electricity, though, is it? It's everything. Everything. I mean, I'm with Virgin for my broadband, my TV, and my phone, and I signed up for an introductory offer, $39.99 a month for it's either 12 or 18 months. I can't remember which without looking. But I got an email through the other day saying that my trial offer is coming to an end and I would have to, sort it out. And it said I was going up to about £90 a month. It worked out at something like 120 or 130% increase. Like hell. I've got to deal with it before the deadline, but like hell, there's going to be a lot of people phoning up and haggling. I was with Sky before, but moved over to Virgin, and it seemed like a better deal. Fitness Hutch, hello to you. And Graham the Baron, hello to you. Good to see you both in the chat. And again, Graham, thank you for the mention on your channel the other day. I appreciate it. You and Fiona gave me a little shout out. Cat Potter, hello to you. Yeah, O2 rip-off with Virgin. I've moved from Virgin, but O2 still charging me for a SIM I never use. That's crazy, isn't it? I was with O2 anyway. I've been for years, and they kind of put themselves together, haven't they? Surf, my gas company, won't let me check how much I've spent with them online unless I get a smart meter. What gas company is that, Surf? You tell me. What's this one? OVO Energy tried to charge me 34 quid for 3 units of gas. When I complained, they hung up on me. I rang them back and sorted it. OVO Energy, I've done a couple of videos on them lately where they've cocked it up a bit, to say the least. Yeah, dead right. Smart meters are not mandatory. Don't be fooled into having them fitted. They want everybody to have them. And you've got to ask the question, why is that? Some people have taken them. Some people swear by them. But they're certainly not mandatory. I don't know whether they could make them mandatory. I'd love to be a fly on the wall with that conversation. Tell them you're going to leave at the end of the contract. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell them they need to bring that cost down a lot or I'm off. Andy, have you got your Jimmy jammies and your slippers on? Right. That's below. Lounge pants. Avengers lounge pants. And just because I had to come out here, I got my trainers on too. There you go. You've seen what's on under the desk. Virgin is rubbish here. Works when it wants. When I had mine installed, it was around Christmas time, right at the beginning of the contract. And just as we had it installed, every single Virgin installation within our entire area crashed. And the reason was some bright spark went into the telephone exchange and nicked some of the fibre optic cabling in there. The trouble is it crashed the whole entire thing. So that weren't great. You're with Scottish Gas, Surf. Okay. Maybe tell me more by email. Maybe that's something we can get them to sort their act out. We've been having problems with roadworks around here, Jim, but not, I don't think, fibre. It's all other stuff, but probably in the cities. There probably is that. There you go. Kay says it. Lots of complaints about OVO since they started. Go through the ombudsman. Yeah, don't mess about. Don't mess about. Okay. Treble 144 gets to Virgin Retention. And it's now owned by Liberty Global, so USA, but got my bill from £67 to £50 a month. But it goes up every April now. Yeah, when I was with Sky, I was paying, I think it was about 68 quid a month. So if they could get it down somewhere near that, it might be a little bit more worth it. But I'll try that conversation. I'll let you know what happens. It used to work with Sky all the time. I mean, the other thing as well, my mother-in-law was in a position where hers was going up by quite a lot. And I mentioned to her about the social tariff. And she went on that, got all the broadband and everything she needed, heavily reduced cost. But you've got to be either, well, over the hill, I suppose, or in receipt of certain things. Getaway boating life and coastal adventures. My gas company won't let me cancel my gas account. So even though I don't use gas anymore and have turned it all off at the boiler and hob, they're still charging me a standing charge. Who's that? Who is that? You can get a loan to buy land, and 10 grand loan is like £80 a month. It's cheap if you have a good credit score. Well, my credit's so bad, I have trouble paying with cash. You've heard that saying. Scottish Gas, again, that's twice I've seen them mentioned, and twice with OVO as well. That's crazy, isn't it? There's a load of videos coming out tomorrow, a few on ULEZ and transport, stuff like that. Something about Tesco's, which was a bit outrageous. An email I got sent, so I've outed that. And a little bit about gas and electricity right at the end as well, where they're maybe keeping a few more quid than they really should be. Let's go back and have another look through. I'm just checking my list as well. Yeah, we've mentioned PAS. We've mentioned screw politics. Hello to all the new people. Cost of living vids. Yeah, I'm trying to basically keep the channel along the lines of anything that's going to help you. Any information you need to know about is what I will bring to you. And I've got people emailing me all the time. And that's the kind of way I want to go with the channel, because it seems to be pretty popular, the way to go. Andy, about these parking apps and signs to pay wherever you park, another psyop for thick people as they aren't enforced. Yeah, there's a thing I'm bringing out tomorrow. I'll tell you the summary. A couple parked in a place in Cornwall, and they paid the parking, by debit card at the meter. And I'm not sure whether it was a private parking firm or yes, it was a private parking firm. And they come away and then they got a fine in the post of 60 quid later on. They went, well, hang on a minute, we paid it. Yet they weren't having any of it. And then when they went to the appeals rejected the appeal, even though they paid. Crazy stuff, crazy. It is a complete and utter racket, all of it. I totally agree with you. And the whole system seems to be designed just to rinse us of our money. Neil Southern, we have to take our share regardless of what was voted for. Our government, just a small part of the big machine, and cannot run separately, or trade sanctions will cripple the UK. Right, everybody, we're coming up to the hour. A couple of bits of news for you. Hang on a minute. PlusNet moving over to EE. That's another one. I was with PlusNet years ago. They were all right. Okay. Yeah, a couple of things. Next Tuesday, not this Tuesday coming, but the following Tuesday, if I can pull it off, I'm going to be doing a live with somebody. I won't tell you who yet, but I'll get that organised and get that out so you can see who it is. Hopefully that'll come off. I usually do lives on Sunday, but this guy could only do Tuesday, so I'm trying to arrange it on that basis. If anyone else wants to come and do a live with me, if you're your own channel or you've got something to say, or if you've got some information you want to impart, then drop me an email and specifically say, want to do a live with you. I do not do personal phone calls, as I said earlier on, literally Facebook, email. That's how I communicate. It's a lot easier for me with my day job as well. I can pick that up on the road. Anyone that's picked up on any of the debt-related issues, please get in touch with me if you've got trouble. And if I can help you, I will help you. That's a guarantee. We're up to the hour now. I don't like to go much over that because you start waffling and running out of things to say, don't you? Thank you, everybody who's joined us this evening. It's been the perfect end to a perfect weekend. Thank you for your support. Make sure you hit the like button on this chat and any other videos you watch. There'll be some more content coming out from 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to get 5 videos a day out to everybody now. That seems like a good number, and I can do that. I can do that quite well, and it gets a fair bit of info out for you. I would say enjoy the beginning of your week, but some of you have probably got to go to work, which ain't that enjoyable. So have a good rest of the evening. Only a couple of hours left, isn't there, before bedtime? Take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. I'll see you in the week. Toodaloo.